So, good morning. Welcome to a brisk Thursday morning. Dare I say winter? But excited to have you guys on. I've been dealing with ever since COVID. I lose my voice really quick. So please bear with me if you hear me kind of fading out. I might clear my throat, so I do apologize for the excessive coughing or clearing of the throat. But happy to be here, healthy. Hope you guys are too. Um, as you can see, we're going to be doing personal branding today, talking about personal branding and what you can do for your real estate business, and just some ideas, thoughts, suggestions, best tips, things that'll help you kind of put things together and package it nicely for anything and everything that you're doing for your business. And I'm just trying to upload a file for you. It's a worksheet that I have that you guys can work on, and I think that's the one. Yes. All right, cool. All right, it's in the chat box there for you. It's uploading. Feel free to download that. There's 5 pages, so some thought-provoking questions for you. Um, you know, for you to go through on your own time and your own space, and hopefully the takeaway from today will help out. So with that, we usually like to get rocking and rolling with saying thank you to our sponsors. Oh, I might move out of the way of Shelly Scroff there. We each and every week are blessed to have our vendors who support everything that you guys do as agents here at the brokerage. And so if they have an opportunity during their busy week to jump on and share a few thoughts of what's happening with them, what they can do to benefit you guys, they are and they do. And so I'm happy to have Shelly Carr here from OneGuard, who is an amazing home warranty company. Full disclosure, I use them. Can never think about using anybody else. They've always been responsive, polite, kind, and cost effective for sure. So welcome, Shelly.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So
What's
there are
new in your
two
world?
Shellys. There are two Shellys. There's Shelly Schrock, and there is me. I'm Shelly Carr. But just thinking about branding and, really making that space for yourself in this market. I was asking one of our top producers the other day, so why do you use us? And what she said is, I do everything right. Well, as much as she can. I mean, obviously she's human, but she's like, I do everything right. I, go through all of the steps I'm supposed to. That transaction closes. My clients are happy. They have this new home, which right now they're paying a lot for. And then something happens. And I don't want them just calling anybody. I want them to know that when something happens and they have to call a home warranty, they have to get something fixed, that I can trust that they can call you, that you're going to answer your phone, that I know that you're going to come, your company is going to take care of them. And that's about your brand. And it's about how she sells herself as a brand and as a team. And what a lot of people don't realize is that, they always think of, oh yeah, the home warranty, that's the last thing you think about. It's the end of the transaction. Let's just get this thing done. But really that home warranty is what sticks with you through that whole year after that transaction closes. And I see so many people, just get that buyer's remorse or that frustration. And we can come in and we can help, alleviate the frustration, and we can help make them feel good about their agents, and let them know that, yeah, stuff does break, but this is part of home ownership and we're here for you. And, we know that you have a great reputation with your agent, and that agent really took care of you by recommending us. And so I just wanted to leave those thoughts with you. If you haven't used OneGuard before, we're a local warranty company, but we've been in the business over 30 years. We do things a little bit different, as we're not just a warranty company. We're really here about from the beginning of the transaction, or the beginning of the period, all the way to the end of that year, as far as services. So rekey, window washing, that kind of stuff. We can help with anything. So any questions, please just let me know. And thanks for letting me come on today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shelly. Appreciate it. Yeah, and guys, if you haven't yet, you do have OneGuard. Take advantage of checking the AC now while it's cold. I know I just
Maybe
got
not
that.
today, because I think it's too cold for us to check today.
Yeah.
So we'll try tomorrow.
I did notice I got the email drip about, just using the normal service fee, and then you can come out and check it. So I did that last year, and sure enough, I had something that was broken, and rather find it out when it's 75 than 175. So
Yes, especially with parts supply chain issues for
Oh
sure.
yeah, that's for
So,
sure.
all
I
right.
didn't think about that. Thanks, Shelly. Awesome. And then we have
Yeah.
Bree, lovely Bree. Thanks for bearing with us. Last week I again had technical issues, so last week I know Bree jumped on. I had a text real quick. I'm like, ain't happening. So we Bree from Robert Calmer Group. How are you doing, Bree?
Good.
Yeah,
Happy Thursday. I can't believe it's already Thursday. Thank you so much for having me.
absolutely.
One of my loan officers was going to jump on, but he actually had a meeting that he had to go to.
Okay.
But we're expanding into the Valley. I have 3 offices now. So we have an office in McCormick Ranch and then 2 over in Old Town. So I know, generally, if you've been doing business for any amount of time, you have a lender that is your go-to, but we have no issue with being your second. It's always a good idea to have a couple of people. You never know if somebody's just not going to mesh, or, if you just need kind of that second set of eyes. So give us a call. As far as like branding, that's like my bread and butter. I love it. I love branding. I love doing like all of the social media, like sitting down, talking about ideas, brainstorming. I really do think it's something that's personal to everybody. And it's something that I really enjoy going over. So if you ever need somebody to just kind of sit and talk about things with, or like bounce ideas off with, I'm huge that I think that you should always have somebody that you can kind of like shoot a message over to and be like, what are your thoughts on this? I can be that person for you. Like, I have no problem doing that. So if you ever need somebody to talk to about like any ideas, anything like that, I'm always here for that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that I love doing with agents. So my contact info is right over here, or I'll stick it in the chat too.
Yeah, definitely drop it in the chat. And I can attest that Bree has certainly invested in her online presence over the last few years, especially during COVID. One of the things we touch on is investing in your online presence and being consistent. And I know Bree has embraced Reels and TikToks and has ventured into that world, and so or into that platform and channel, because it's going to be the fastest way to gain online presence and exposure right now. And so she is a wealth of information, and she's very entertaining as well and informative. So I enjoy your TikToks and your Instagram Reels. So thank you, Bree, for putting yourself out there, because that's what we need more agents to do. Put yourself out there, because we're not going to know about you if you don't do it. So
It's fun, and just don't be afraid to be like silly. It's okay to be like, it's okay. It's okay
yeah,
to laugh at yourself.
it's true. It's true. And people look, you're likable. So they're like, hey, I would want to work with that person because they're entertaining. So you'll find out real quick who's got it and who doesn't. So thanks, Bree. And then last but not least, Jill St. Croix from Great American Title. Jill is a wealth of information, been in the industry a long time, knows everybody in that inside and out. And so, Jill, welcome. Glad you're here. How was your trip last week?
Hi, Keith. My trip was fabulous.
Good.
If you have not been to Tiger Woods Bar in Jupiter, they have
Oh, wow.
key lime pie martinis that are killer.
Oh, wow. That sounds good.
Yeah, they're crazy good. And I got the recipe from the bartender, so hit me up for it.
Look at you. Nice. All you gotta do is ask, right?
And that's right. As far as branding, I agree with Bree. It is so much fun. It's probably one of the most fun aspects of our jobs. And I think if we think about branding in a big sense, and when you see a swoosh, you know it's Nike. When you see red and white and script, you know it's Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. That's what we try to do with our customer service office or customer service guys, is to find something, whether it's your colors, your fonts, whatever it is, your tagline, that is definitely you. So when they see a flyer or they see something come out on social media with your colors, your fonts, they'll say, oh, that's a Keith Flynn listing. I better check that one out. So that's what our branding looks like. We try to individualize each person to their personality, which is really the fun part. So my contact information is right there. Again, Jill St. Croix with Great American Title. If you want the martini recipe, let me know. And if you want some branding, let me know. I'd love to work with you.
Awesome, Jill. Thank you so much. And you're right. You know, your visuals as an agent, your logo, your colors, your color palette, your brand is a big part of it. And we will touch on that, as well as we'll go beyond your visuals too, because it's more than just what people see. It's how they perceive you, the feel good aspect. And so thanks, Jill, for bringing that up. Great segue. So
Thanks, Keith. See you later.
All right, guys. You guys have a good one. All right. So, and stick around, please do if you want. But as always, number one question I get from agents, not number one. What number one is number one question is, can you hear me? Because we're usually on Zoom calls. But the one of the big things I get from a lot of agents is, what's a brand, right? So we're talking about a brand, and I think Seth Godin, if you don't follow him or subscribe to his sales and marketing blogs, awesome guy, just wealth of information. But he defines brand: the set of expectations, memories, and stories and relationships that, taken together, account for a customer's decision to choose one product, or I got some spacing issues on that one, or vice over the service over another. Good Lord, I must have hit a space bar too. So it's a really good thought process, because while visuals is a big part of it, what people's expectations are and what they perceive of you is a big one as well. And so we'll get into just the little things that people don't even really think about when it comes to your brand. So when we talk about branding or your brand, there's two aspects to it that you guys wanted to point out for you guys. You have marketing and versus branding. So often these are confused. And so when we're talking about them, I like to just kind of define them again, so it helps us through the rest of the presentation. Marketing is about creating a demand for your product or service, and marketing builds people's interest in buying and encouraging people to take action to buy. Now, your branding is the image of your company. Some of your brand is created by you through the way you visualize and represent yourself, and your products and services through your colors, your fonts, logos, visuals, and physical space. And so there is a differentiation between the two. And so understanding those is a big part of putting our brand together. And a further explanation or a visualization of this would be, marketing would be you telling your clients, I'm a trusted real estate professional. Once your marketing starts to take hold and really have an effect, and you've got some history and some street cred and some social proof there, now you'll have your customers coming to you and telling you that, I understand that you are a trusted professional. That's proof, social proof there, that your marketing is having an effect, and the work that you've done has had an effect as well. And now your branding is really starting to take hold. And so understanding those two is important, and it will help clarify, one, going through the worksheet, and better sculpting and understanding who you are as a person and as a real estate agent. Now, some benefits for you guys for putting together a great personal brand. An effective personal brand wields influence, and you're likely to enjoy some of these top things here for you here. Number one is a steady stream of clients. That's a huge one. We all want that. Now we can just get a steady stream of inventory. That'd be amazing. But a steady stream of ideal clients is a great one, because they're going to hear about your business. They're going to see that your online presence is good. And for a lot of us, especially a lot of our first-time home buyers or millennials, they take to social media to search and learn about you and see if you are in fact who you are and the quality of work that you do. So now another benefit of personal brand is rewarded partnerships. Whether you're connecting with Jill or Bree or any of our vendors, that vendor partnership is great. Your partnerships with other community businesses, retail, nightlife, shops, you name it. Once you have a solid personal brand as an agent, you'll start to be rewarded with some great partnerships. Leadership opportunities. Here at West USA, we're very proud of our agents and the great work that they do, and we often rely on them to give back. And so we ask of our top performers to do mastermind classes, webinars, be on our webinars, any type of teaching or coaching opportunities. That leadership opportunity will come when your personal brand has really had some solid effect with your clients. Great mind shares. So obviously being a great like-minded other real estate agents, association with a market niche. So getting into your local niche communities, having a great personal brand, people within your local farm, the community or the subdivision or the area that you want to own, be the neighborhood mayor, will really play out for you there. And getting into your niche will be important, because your community will start to see you and trust on you, and you'll become top of mind for them. Obviously, great credibility, recognition, and prestige, which we do quite a bit here. As a well-branded agent and a top-performing one, we obviously point out our top performers each and every month, not only at the branch location, but company-wide. And then the last one, too, is a higher perceived value. People want to work with those who have great value, bring a great value, those who are owning social media and putting out great content, and providing quality content will help elevate your credibility. And I think that's a big one too. So we're not just posting just listed, just sold, but we're really putting some of our expertise and knowledge out there and educating our audience. And so that value is important. So as I mentioned, a brand is more than your logo. It's not just, as Jill mentioned, the Coca-Cola can, that's a great brand identity. The swoosh, all the classic top of mind logos that are out there. But a brand is more a collection of perceptions in the mind of the consumer. And the perceptions come from all different aspects, which we'll get into here shortly. Excuse me. I tell you, it's a rough one. So brand management is what you have control over with your real estate business. And the term is slightly misleading when we say brand management. Brands aren't merely managed, they're shaped, guided, and cultivated over time. And so what you're doing today and the consistency in which you do it will pay off in the end or down the road as you become a more seasoned agent. Now, although you can't control every experience a person has with your brand, you can drive and influence their perceptions. And so when we're talking about perceptions, beyond the logo, a brand is your strategy, right? What is it that you want to accomplish as a real estate agent? And how are you going to implement that strategy? Whether you have a great tagline or you have your core values, your value proposition, and how you implement that is important. The strategy into which you implement your marketing materials, whether you want to be online presence or more of a face-to-face person, strategically how you implement that is important. It will define your brand. Your call to actions, as I mentioned, when we're talking about like your value propositions, your taglines, another aspect of that is your call to action. What do you want your customer to do at the end of your video or when they're done reading your article or your social media post? If you'd like to learn more about your home val, I can email me at call me here, sign up for. All those call to actions are important. You should always be leaving somebody or leaving your audience with a call to action at the each and every content piece of creation that you put out. Last line of your post, if you or someone you know is looking to purchase a home next 6 months to a year, you can call me I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Your customer service, right? How quickly are you responding to your client? Are you calling them back within 5 minutes? Are you text messaging them? How do you communicate? Are you prefer email? I have a client who likes to call me all the time. And it's usually just to check in and see how it's going. And I get it. That's fine. That's how he communicates. I'm more of an email driven and text message person. I tend to work a little more quickly that way and I'm more responsive. I don't always have time to take a call because I'm either in an area where I can't have a call with confidence or with privacy, or I got one of my kids with me and that's going to be a distraction and not professional. So it happens often, and their customer service is a big part of that. The way you speak to people. Are you polite? Are you energetic? Are you very monotone and just really don't have any voice inflection? Are you someone who sits at attention? Do you use rapport mimicking? If someone's leaning forward on the desk, do you lean forward? If they sit back, you'll notice you sit back. When we mimic and we get into rapport with our clients, it tends to help with communication. And so the way you speak to people is a big part of your brand as well. There's a whole array of communication tools, from your email signature to an open house sign. If you're using acrylics in the house, even leaving a little note, I'm in the restroom, be right out. Whatever you do and the way you communicate, we want to have consistency and continuity in your branding. And if that means your logo's on your business card, or the font you use on your business card is the same one you use for your marketing materials, so that you start to have a professional, consistent look, and the way we communicate and the tools that we use reflect that throughout your marketing. Your people, who do you work with? Your vendors, are they a great reflection of who you are? Are you, your team? Yes, you might not employ anybody, and you're not paying them, but the people that you choose to work with that support you as a real estate agent, everyone from your home inspection, lender, title, your brokerage, your broker, you name it, whoever's coming into contact with your client, we want to vet them out and make sure that they're representing you in your best light, and you can consider them as part of your team and your people. So choose wisely when you are choosing vendors to support you as an agent. Do your homework with them, because whoever is going to come into contact with your client, we want to make sure that you are well represented. Your facilities. Now, I know that not all of us have offices, or we're not working from an office, or from one of our branches, but your facilities, your open houses, the homes that you take people through represent you as well. And so, if getting to the open house a little early, if there's a smell, let's kill it. Let's check behind the toilet for creepy crawlies. Let's make sure that the house is well represented, and your facilities are in check, because again, that represents you as an agent, and it will push your quality, your perceived quality higher. Lastly, of course, yes, your logos, your visuals are also part of your brand. So those are always the top of mind ones that we think of. But these ones here I showed you on this slide really dig it deeper, because they will sculpt the perception of you as an agent with your clients. So if you're not branding yourself, you can be assured somebody else is. And when I say that if you're not branding yourself, somebody else is, I reflect back off and on with a lot of the early adoption of social media. There were a lot of businesses that were reluctant to use social media as a way to communicate with their customer. We were still doing traditional forms of advertising. And they'd often say that if you're not, they used to say, marketing, we did, if you were in business but you didn't have a website, you weren't in business. And this is like, late 90s, 2000s. And then when it morphed into, if you're not on social media, you're not in business, because we moved and migrated from just websites to now social media platforms. The conversations are happening. It just depends on whether the brand or the company wants to get involved. And so we quickly learned as marketers that if we want to put our best foot forward, the perception of us as a business owner needs to be controlled by you, the agent. And so if you're not branding yourself, you can be assured somebody else is. And that can come in the way of who's worked with you, other real estate agents, other brokers, other vendors. And so we want to control that message as an agent. And so that's important, and another important aspect to you as an agent in your business. So who remembers the old Mac commercials? Okay. So the old Mac commercials, the old PC commercials, Mac would come out and say, I'm a PC, and he would glitch, or he was really bloated, or he had some type of a issue. And then Mac would come out and point out that the person representing the PCs was slow. He's very stiff, old school with the suit. They were marketing their laptops to a younger demographic, the college millennial at the time, and did a really good job of this, because they were basically painting PCs to be slow, large, clunky, not hip, underpowered, you name it. And so Mac or Apple was branding their competitor. So this is another example of, if you're not branding yourself, somebody else is. And Apple was very successful with this, because they basically just perceived PCs to be not desirable, and their sales went through the roof. So little example I wanted to point out to you there. All right, so when we come to talking about our brand, we've got 3 W's of personal branding as a real estate agent. Number 1, what is in it for me as a customer? Get into your client's head and mind and understand how you can solve his or her pain points. What is it that they're going to experience and be challenged by as a real estate agent? And the reason why I point these 3 W's out, because this will help sculpt your content creation. What you put out there as a real estate agent and what you share should certainly be of high value and educate your audience. And so understanding what you've done as an agent and what you're going to potentially face with your future clients can be great content for your social media. And so, paraphrasing or recapping a challenge that you had with a previous client or a challenge that you both experienced together and how you helped them overcome it is a great content piece and one that you should share with your audience. It'll show social proof, it will educate your audience, and the reason why we're doing this on a consistent basis is so that we become memorable. The next time that you have somebody who has a need, they'll think of you because you've shown that you can do it. I know the statistic the other day. I was talking to somebody. What's crazy is over 70% of people who purchased homes forget their agent's name within the first year of closing. It's insane. So we hate to hear about it, and it happens often. And so the reason why we want to be consistent on social media is so that our past customers remember us. So the next time they have a need or they know someone who does, they'll remember you and not run into them at Costco and be like, oh, I forgot your name. And my brother wanted to move here. And you're like, so I get it because I hear it all the time. What value do you bring to the table as an agent? What's your differentiating factor? What can you bring that, over your competitor? Are you an expert in the neighborhood? Do you, have great lenders? Do you know the ins and outs of an up and coming community? Whatever that is, define that for yourself so that you can share that with your audience. And of course, what is the benefit of you? Your CE hours, your accomplishments, your specialty or a niche in probate or investment, whatever that is, define that so you can share that with your audience. Number 2, the who cares test, right? When you are creating content, there should be no reason, or there should be a reason and a value add. So, Bree and I were joking earlier about, TikTok videos and YouTube or Reels videos and doing fun stuff. And if you can be entertaining at the same time, provide value. If someone's going to stop scrolling on their phone and look at your content, what value are you going to provide to them when you do? You can be entertaining at the same time, educational, which is awesome. And it'll get people to engage more with your future content. Content needs to be relevant and timely and memorable, which is important too. Any content that you can create that is evergreen, meaning the same information you provide today will be the same high value content a year from now. Checklists for moving out, decluttering your home, neutralizing, painting all the rooms the same color. These principles have been in place and are still true to this day. That would be considered evergreen content. So that content can be memorable and savable, so people can save your content and represent when they have a time or ready to move. If you're going to share on social media, make it meaningful and timely, not generic. Find what is interesting about you and use that when you share your content. And the last one there, wow. Okay. What do you bring to the table that nobody else has? What's your wow factor, right? What is it about you that really stands out? And if you've got it, that's great. If not, find something that's going to work for you and that you can share with your potential clients. What wow factor can you highlight that makes you stand out from the crowd? And because it is very noisy out there and we have a lot of agents, and so we're doing our best to really put ourselves above the clutter and the crowd of all the other agents and really stand out. And then, are you the ultimate foodie? Like our example would be if you're someone who's hiking, biking, sports, start a restaurant review blog on your for your market. If there's something that you have that you can rely on from a past industry or a past life that you were an expert in, leverage it and find those communities so that you can tap into them and engage. And then, of course, naturally, it'll come to light that you're an agent. But at the end of the day, relying on those relationships and those shared interests is a great way to build relationships. And that's what we're doing as agents, is building relationships. So the next time they have a need, they'll think of you. So some branding tips I put together for you guys here will get you more leads. Just some ideas to keep focused on being authentic. You don't have to put too much into the thought process of being original or funny or entertaining. A lot of what we see on social media is a very clone feel to it. a lot of us are just replicating what we see when it comes to being online or being in social media. Excuse me, fading fast here. A lot of what we put out there, if you're watching other real estate agents, which I highly recommend that you do, follow other agents, see what they're putting out there. A lot of us are just repurposing content and then making it our own. You know, the market stats are the same for me, for you, for everybody. There's no difference there. It's just how we're going to present it. So being authentic is important and being genuine. You don't have to worry about having the most overproduced video or having someone professionally write for you. We just want to make sure that, you know, you're being authentic and you're being genuine. And I think that's important and it goes a long way. Being consistent is important as well. Guys, get yourself an editorial calendar and write down, you know, Mondays are going to be the first Monday of every month will reflect on last month's market stats, which Todd Menard, our COO, puts those out there for you guys each and every week. And you can use that content, repurpose it, make it your own, and then present it to your audience. Find your niche. You know, where is it that you want to own? What neighborhood, what neighborhood you want to farm? And get into that niche. Get into the niche of interests. Closed groups are awesome on Facebook. So some tips for you guys on generating more leads and finding more relationships. Getting into the closed groups on Facebook and finding those folks who have shared interests. Storytelling is real big, guys, for this year. It has been, but I was just on a webinar yesterday. We were talking about, you know, getting more agents to storytell. Nobody understands the importance of a good story like you guys. You as real estate agents hear stories all the time. Why are you buying? Why are you selling? Why are you moving here? What life changes have happened? How are you going to help people with that transition? And use those stories to motivate and promote yourself as an agent. You don't need to do a whole, you know, mini series or episodic documentary on why people migrate from New York to Arizona. But what you can do is focus on some of those common challenges that we all have when we're moving. And if it's, you know, procuring a moving truck or finding boxes, you know, if you've got a cool thing about you that you've done to help your clients, tell a story about how that happened, because that'll get people to watch you, like you, want to use you, and remember you the next time they have a need. Identify those pain points in your storytelling. You know, what is it that you're going to be challenged by when it comes to being a buyer? And for first-time buyers, what am I going to expect? I've never been through the process before. What is title? I don't even understand what title is. And so you can answer those questions and help educate your buyers. Of course, having an online presence is important. That's why we're here. I think we've all learned since COVID started that social media has been a huge component. Social media consumption skyrocketed for everybody when COVID hit because we weren't out and about talking to people face to face. We were using social media as a form to connect and stay connected with people that we hadn't seen in a while. And lastly, provide value, guys. Value is important for your content. Sure, you know, if you're a foodie like I am and I post a big plate of nachos that I just made, share the recipe. What did you do differently that most people don't put on there in their nachos? Or, you know, if you're a hiker, what's the best trails to be on, and document those trails that you've been there. It's okay to showcase your interests because chances are somebody else has them as well. And that's a great way to connect and tap into that market. So 5 questions to ask yourself for your sheet and your brand. Number 1, what are your goals? When we're thinking of our personal brand and our professional brand, what are the goals that we want to accomplish? Short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. You know, an old sales manager of mine told me if you don't, what did he say? He said, if you aim at nothing, you're sure to hit it. So having goals each day, right, is important. You know, I write down, I'm a little, you know, sheet guy. So I write down, these are the 3 things I need to do today, you know. And then I add that to the honeydew list that I get from my wife. And then now I've got a lot of goals for today. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. But I'd like to at least check off 3 or 4 of those beyond, responding to emails, answering calls. Like those are all just, transactional tasks that we have to do. But what do you want to accomplish today? I want to do a TikTok video. I want to learn how to do this. I want to read this one blog because there's great information there about me being a better marketer. Whatever that is, set those goals for yourself. And then what do you value? What is it that you value? Value and passion and motivate kind of all go together, the next three. So what do you value? And then what's you're passionate about, and what is it that motivates you to be a real estate agent? And if you can incorporate that into your marketing, that's awesome, because people are inspired by that and they want to learn more about you, and you're sharing more about yourself to them. And again, being memorable and likable is important when deciding to use you as an agent. And the last one, again, what makes you remarkable? Just falling back to the wow. What's your wow factor? You're passionate about your clients. You're available 24/7. I do know of agents who don't work on the weekends. I don't know how the hell to do it, but they don't work on the weekends. So I think that's remarkable that they can do that and still put food on the table. But what is it that's going to set you apart that you can share with your clients? Okay, so building your brand. So, of course, building lasting, effective personal brands take time, and there's no one size that fits all. And that's why I give you guys that worksheet. You have a blank copy of it. You can always go back every year. Those answers may change for you. Some will stay the same, but some will change. So number one, take inventory. And when I say take inventory, I'm not talking about physical inventory as in like, what's on the shelf at the store. Take inventory about who's around you that can benefit you as a agent, your brand, whether it's your broker, your marketing rep that I can help out with, anybody that can help you, support you as a real estate agent. And then of course, give back. What do you have that you can help someone else succeed? If anybody tells you that they did it on their own with no help, they're full of shit. Okay. We all have to rely on somebody at some point. So, it's okay to reach out, ask for that help, just give back, because givers gain. And so when I say take inventory, look around you and see who can help you succeed and get you to where you need to be. Number two, develop a brand plan, which you have in your hands now or in front of you or on your sheet. Keep working that worksheet. That's important. Number three, craft your identity. Who are you? What defines you as an agent? And work that into your brand. The worksheet will guide you there for as well. Choosing the right tool. Let me move over here to the other side. Choosing the tools, channels. We're to cover that in a minute. Social media. What channels should we be on? How am I going to leverage my social media to get my message out there as an agent? And we'll talk about some hot ones and some ones to avoid. And then measure and repeat. That's the last one. Whatever you do, measure it each year, review it. And if it works, great, repeat it. If it doesn't, clip it, try something different. Definitely important when it comes to building your brand. All right. So you guys haven't, little segue here. If you guys haven't done so, highly recommend, there you go. Highly recommend personal branding photos. In recent years, I work with a few different photographers, both personally and professionally, and branding marketing shots are really popular. A lot of folks have gotten away from your traditional, Owen Mills or Duke photos in front of the backdrop, and there it is. People are getting out and doing fun stuff, out at a shared, workspace or in an office, outside. Have fun with your photos. There are a number of photographers, I'm sure, who would love the business, since a lot of the event photography industry took a hit. But ask around your local office, because there are local photographers or agents who also have a little bit of the photography eye that would love the work, and consider some personal branding photos. So I highly recommend it. Personal branding photos will help you build your online presence. They up your game a little bit. And if you don't have access to a photographer, a lot of our cell phones take great photos now. Just, put on a nice professional outfit and do some cool shots. A park, in front of like landmarks, distinctive areas of Phoenix, you name it. Those are really helping. You can incorporate those into your brand. Stand out in an oversaturated market with some really cool photography, and showcase your personality. As you can see here on the example, it doesn't need to be stiff and rigid. If you got a stupid human trick, do it. Do something fun. There's always good opportunity for you guys to set yourself apart from everybody else. Excuse me. Clients want to connect with you before investing in you. And I can tell you guys, this is the most important with millennials. What is it? The statistic was crazy, but over 60% of those who use Instagram said that they learned about a product or a service for the first time on the platform. A lot of marketers take to Instagram to get out their product and service. And since millennials embrace and love social media, specifically Instagram, this is a great place for you guys to put out your content, because they're going to grab their phone and do their homework on you before deciding to use you. And if you're able to connect with them, that's going to help you out a lot. And before, be more than a good headshot to remember you by. You want to have some really fun stuff. And so just a little shot for you guys there on photography. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I don't push so hard. Maybe I can get more voice. So number one of the questions I get from agents, one of the top questions I get from agents is, where should I be? Now, we were talking about choosing the right channels and the tools earlier. And they, should I be on Facebook? Should I be on TikTok, Instagram? I don't want to do Reels, or I don't want to do Snapchat. And I totally get it. So when I ask agents back, well, where is your audience? And when I ask where your audience is, the reason why I ask this is because I want agents to reverse engineer your audience. Where are they? And then that should give you the answer where you should be. And so figure out who you want to target and where they are, and then that's where you should go. If you're looking for millennials, the 30 and under, that should change that. It's probably now 39 and under crowd. Sign up for Snapchat or Instagram. TikTok, still, I think the average age on TikTok is something like 25. 29 is probably the max. Now when I say TikTok, I'm not saying that you guys need to go and start doing choreography and learning, the latest dance craze. However, a lot of real estate agents did pivot in the last 2 years on their marketing efforts and did jump into TikTok. At the end of the day, it's a video editing platform. It's short form video, and it's highly attractive. And we've learned in the last 2 years that long form video, anything over 2 minutes, was a bust. People's attention span has gone down considerably. And since TikTok's explosion, we've learned that, again, platforms are dictated by what the audience and what the consumer wants, and they want short form videos. And so a lot of real estate agents have broken down some of their top questions into 30, 60-second answers and are educating their audience. And a lot of them are having success. And so if you're looking to target millennials, your largest first-time home buyer, they're going to be on Instagram, number one, for sure. And you can utilize those video editing tools to your advantage, because agents are using these tools to do open houses, walk and talks, showcase neighborhoods, communities, splash pads, restaurants, nightlife, you name it. Again, this is a tool for you guys to use to establish social proof and show your audience that you are an expert agent and the neighborhood mayor. And so don't be overwhelmed by having to pick up on some crazy trend that you're not comfortable doing. Be an agent, but still use these tools to your advantage, because that's where your audience is, if that's who you're looking to target. And did you guys know it's crazy? About 36% of realtors are on Instagram. There's 1.4 million NAR, National Association of Realtor members. And of those surveyed, 36% of them are on Instagram. It's crazy. So there's a lot of room out there if you ever decide to jump in, or I hope you do. And if you do get onto Instagram, look at some hashtags that are relevant to your business and your industry. Hashtag AZ real estate, Arizona real estate, Scottsdale real estate. Start consuming content and seeing what other agents are doing. And you'll see quickly, it's not always about being on camera. It's just about using the camera to your advantage. 40 plus, Pinterest. Pinterest is emerging. A lot of visuals there. Pinterest is a highly visual platform. So real estate being very visual, natural fit. And the last one there, yes, Facebook is still not dead. It's still going strong, but there are The largest demographic that's exiting Facebook and has been is your 25 and under. I know my cousins. I've got some kids I've talked to. They're like, no, they don't use Facebook. So, but your empty nesters, your boomers, your Zoomers, your Gen Xers are all still using the platform, and so still a great place to be. Still has one of the highest traffic. So if you're gonna ask me, if someone were to ask me what 2 platforms I would be on, I would recommend Facebook and Instagram, hands down. Get comfortable with those. Bite off what you can chew. Get comfortable, and then move on to that. Now, of course, there's a lot of other channels, websites, blogs, podcasts. We've already talked about social networks. Facebook events is a big one. If you're on Facebook, highly recommend taking your open house and making a Facebook event. You can do either an online or an in-person event now on Facebook. It used to be just one, but then because of COVID, they realized that a lot of events were happening online, and so now you have a choice. Facebook events are awesome because if you do have a physical open house, that event will show up on people's calendars in the area in which the house is listed. And if someone's looking for a beer garden or taco festival, concerts, your event will show up in what's happening in that area, that time of day, that time of week. So really good tool for use. And then the last one there, are you guys on Google My Business? Do you guys have a Google My Business listing? So when I say listing, all businesses can register, sign up for a Google My Business listing account. And when someone does a search for you, they can see that you are, in fact, in business in Arizona, in Phoenix, wherever you're at. And Google My Business is awesome since Google still holds the market share for most searches performed. Anybody who's taking to social media or taking to the internet to look for you, it's good to have a Google My Business listing so that you can start to show up in those search results. And it's a great place for people to do reviews, and they can leave a review for you as an agent. All right, so last one. I know we're getting toward the end here, guys. All right, yeah. So just again to re-emphasize the use of Instagram. If you are targeting millennials, and the reason why I bring them up is because they're starting to buy now. I know a lot of them held on to renting for a long time, and they're realizing that I could pay less for a house with a mortgage than if I were paying someone else's rent, or paying rent, and then I'm not investing in my property. And so getting a house, obviously having the house work for you is important. But millennials are there on Instagram, and some things to keep in mind there. It's going to be a great way for you guys to establish trust, likability, which we talked about. You're an expert, you're a thought leader, and of course you're the neighborhood mayor. And so these are some tips for you guys to share when you're using Instagram and targeting that audience, because that's where they want to see. They're heavily influenced by what they see on Instagram. And so if you're there too, it'll be beneficial for you. So some do's and don'ts. So don'ts for you guys. Don't get cocky. Hustling is great, but be humble, stay humble. It's okay to celebrate your small accomplishments, but I have seen some agents who can come across a little cocky at times and condescending. And so it is a turnoff. Avoid being preachy or tooting your own horn too much. Always stay humble. It's okay to celebrate, just listed, just sold, just closed. But we want to also take it beyond that and showcase how you've helped other people and create high value. It's okay to share your success, but don't label yourself as a guru. Someone did this to me yesterday. I was introduced as a social media guru, and I'm like, nah, I hate that word. So avoid guru or master or ninja. Just keep it simple. Real estate professional, realtor, real estate agent. No need for the funny names. It was a thing back in the day with marketers, but I think it's kind of gone away now. Don't post sensitive material. If you guys are at a closing or with the lender, I know a lot of folks. Where's my phone at here? I know a lot of folks like do selfies, with their clients. Just be mindful that when you're taking photos, there's nothing out on the table that people can zoom in on and see any personal information. It has happened, and I always point that out. Be mindful of any bank information, credit card information, phone numbers, names and things, addresses, things like that. It's important for you guys. And then the last one there, don't be the friend who overshares. No personal drama. I know I'm guilty of this. I get sucked into negativity a lot. want to rant or bitch or complain about something. I'm a comic by nature, and so comedians are critical, and so it's easy for me to make fun or poke fun at something. That's the way I deal with it. But at the same time, I don't want it to come across too negative, and so just be mindful of that when you're posting your content on your social media. All right, do's. Audit what people or companies can see or read. If you guys haven't done so, Google your name. One of the cool things about Google is you can search for yourself and see what shows up. Headshots, websites, index, agent register, whatever that you name it. It's good to Google yourself every now and then to see what shows up. And if you want to, you can go to Google Alerts, Google Alerts, and set up a Google alert for your name. Keith Flynn Real Estate Agent, Keith Flynn, West USA, you name it. Set up those alerts, and anytime something is posted to the internet, because each and every day, Google is crawling websites. They've got spiders that crawl and index everything that's on the internet. And if you ever show up now or in the future on a review, on a blog, anything at all, you'll get notified that something matching your search alert showed up, and you can keep and control your brand. It's great reputation management. So definitely do that, and I highly recommend it. Associate yourself with strong brands. Engage with preferred vendors, trusted vendors, successful vendors. Keep a positive online communities or churches, charities, anybody doing food drives, water drives. If you are the neighborhood mayor, know what food bank services the area and connect with them. Great way to build relationships and meet new people, and show that you are in fact the expert agent in the area. Stand out without selling. That's a big one. I see a lot of agents, sometimes it feels like they're always selling. And so it's important to get away from that. We get it. You're an agent, you sell, provide value for your client. It doesn't always have to be about real estate. Be more than a realtor, be a connector. And the last one there, be in the know. What's happening in the community, and share that on your social media. There is no reason why agents can't use social media to their advantage. There's so much information that you guys are privy to, and you guys can be the in and know agent, and it'll really benefit you when it comes to your social media. All right, so the last one there, bottom line is, guys, your presence on social media is a highly conspicuous part of how you market yourself to the world. And so your online presence, I know we talk about branding and marketing, and the emphasis is online. All the other door hangers, flyers, postcards, thank you cards, those are all old school, offline, no-brainers. So that's why a big part of being in business and having a brand has to do with online and social media, because that's what we use so much of. Woo, I am fading fast. Okay, last one here. I put together some apps for you guys for your branding. These will help edit, as you can see here on the behind me. All right, where we go? Right there. These are fun ways that you guys can add overlays and graphics and call to actions and phone numbers to any of your imagery. Do what you can to not just post a photo of something, but add an element to it. Canva is a popular one. I teach that class. You can really jazz up and elevate your marketing materials. Canva is free, but then there's a pro plan. Some of these apps do have a charge associated with them, but just there's so many out there and available for you guys. I always see when agents use these, tends to come across a little more professional and just a great use overall. All right. So like you guys, I'm on social media as well. So here's all my stuff. If you want to ever connect with me or follow me, I'll follow you back. Love to learn and see what you guys are doing. And of course, if you have any questions for me, guys, whether now or after the fact, you can always email me. I'm Keith, Keith, @westusa.com. If you guys want to unmute yourself or raise your hand or chat box, whatever. If not, make sure you download that personal branding worksheet before we disconnect. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate your time today. And next week is March, I believe, right? Is next Thursday March? It is. All
Real
right.
quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know who wants to go first. I got a question. It looks like you got a question. You go first.
Go ahead, Richard, or Vince. Either way.
Me? Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
When I signed up for the class, by the way, this is very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it.
Thank you for this. But I thought this one was going to be specifically geared towards Instagram. I struggle with being able to post on Instagram.
Right.
And I know that we can share on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. But my knowledge of Instagram, I thought this was going to be about Reels. I think that's what was posted originally, but I'm glad that I listened to you.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Yes, the Reels video, I'm just jumping into the YouTube channel here real quick. And because like this class and all my other webinars, I record them. And here we go. So anyway, say welcome to another webinar. Yeah, voice sounds great that way too.
Can I get a recording of this class as well?
There you go. All right, so I just dropped a link in there for the Reels versus TikTok from January 24th. So not too long ago, about a month ago, exactly a month ago. Check that one out, Richard. And then if you have any questions, email me. We could jump on a call. If it's a technical issue, you're trying to get through, how to do something, happy to help out. Absolutely. And then I will upload this to our YouTube channel by the end of today. And then you can review that too at your leisure.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Sure. Thank you. All right, Vincent, what do you got?
35-year hotel resort guy.
Okay.
Got into real estate last year. Only got 6 transactions in so far. So I'm not flying, but I'm making some money.
Okay, good.
Here's my question. Social media. I've never really been into marketing and sales. I was in hotels. I had a salary. I didn't have to worry about, money was taken care of for 25 years. Now it's different. So I use social media for fun. I'm in Instagram. Probably only have about 600 followers. It's all personal content, traveling, hiking, going to Italy, restaurants, food, that kind of thing. And then I've got Facebook, I probably have about the same. I've been on Facebook forever.
Okay.
My question is, should I build separate real estate Instagram and Facebook accounts, or do I just transition what I already have and sort of slowly push it into a real estate world?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you're not alone. We get that a lot from a lot of our agents. It really just depends on what you're comfortable with. I know it tends to more of our female agent demographic likes to keep it separate. They like to have a personal page, and then they have their business page on Facebook, and then on Instagram you can have a personal Instagram, and then you can have a business as well. And so some people like to keep it completely divided, and then others don't mind commingling what they do as an agent with their personal life. And so it really just depends on what you're comfortable with. I've seen it done both ways. I've heard it works both ways. I don't think anyone is ever turned off by the fact that, there may be a hiking and then the next shot is an open house. If you're starting from scratch per se, from having that, then you're probably in a good situation where you can try out. See, a lot of folks like to leverage the existing relationships they already have, and so they're apprehensive about creating a business page. Now, if you create a business page on Instagram, a second Instagram account, and it's just strictly for you as an agent, then work that and build up that audience as well. Tap into your personal side, follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of your content on your personal is about you, life, friends, family, celebrations, whatever. Then 20% of it can be referencing your real estate agent as an agent or business. And if you want to build up your business Instagram account, be sure each and every time that you post on your personal, you're referencing or tagging your business account in it. So you can start to drive traffic from your personal people to those interested in following you as an agent.
Perfect.
And then that way you can maintain your current one and build the other one up. And then I would do the same thing with Facebook as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. And your business page on Facebook, same premise. Anything and everything you have to do about real estate, on that page. And then every now and then share the really good high value content onto your personal. It'll be tagged in there. They'll see you're an agent. And then, 5 best splash pads to visit in Phoenix, when it's 110. Yeah. And then link them in, photos, whatever, tag yourself on your real estate page. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. No problem. Good questions, guys. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. We're a little bit over 11 o'clock, so good timing. Thank you guys for your patience again. Appreciate it. Sorry about the voice. I think if this is the worst I got to deal with it, then I'm good with that. So look for us next Thursday. I will actually be in person. I was looking at the calendar. Next Thursday, I will be in person at the corporate office. We're doing one class at the beginning of every month, Thursday, to get over people's shoulders and work with them. So if you'd like to visit, we'll go through Facebook and Instagram again in a little more detail and actually use the service, use the platform. So
what time is that class?
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Now, I start with Facebook and I go into Instagram. You don't have to stay for both, or you can stay for both, leave after one, whatever you guys want to do. But yeah, be at the corporate office, and we had 7 people last month, and it was awesome. We had a good time. It was nice to get back in person again. So, all right, guys, well, have a great day, and thank you again as always. Be kind to one another, be safe, and we will see you soon. Take care.